I just realized the mic was off. Can you guys hear me now? How's it going, guys? Sorry, I've been talking to a wall this whole time. The mic was off. How's the audio now? Can you guys hear me? Are we good to go? Uh, what's happening with XRP? We're going to get into that in just a few moments. Uh, Thank you, Guinea Marie. You're always so zealous. I love it. It's a good energy to have. Always brass tacks with you. Where are we going? What are we doing? What's next? Music's very loud. Can't hear you. Got it. Let's. How's that? Much better. Sorry about that. There we go. Better, better, better. We know we need to just turn that music down. Then, how does it sound now? Is the music nice and low, or is it too low? Come on in 10 minutes before I have to meet someone. That's why I ask. I think right now we're in consolidation. That's the short-term answer. So we will be live till 5 o'clock. So if you can jump in later, I will recap everything for you. How's the music? Is it too loud? Do you guys want no music? All right. So, welcome everybody. We are doing technical analysis for XRP, guys. This is XRP. And if you are on the TikTok side, we will be switching over to Twitch shortly. So make sure you join over on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. We will no longer be going live on TikTok soon. If you did pay for a subscription on TikTok, I will be honoring those through the end of the month. However, if we get any recourse action on TikTok, they will take it away from you. So that's why we want to move to Twitch, guys. So make sure you guys come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. I'll come back. That's why I'm explaining it's low. Yeah, it is low, and it'll probably either continue to drop lower or it'll rebound, and we're going to kind of go over that sentiment. But I think it pumped hard because people thought that tariffs were paused, and now the real news is coming out that tariffs are not paused, and it's causing a lot of volatility. So it's going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down. Now is a good time to be making short-term trades and hitting price points on the daily, really, instead of just buying and holding. If you're looking to buy and hold, I would buy, or not financial advice, but I would be holding stable coins, waiting for a lower zone or a breakout of the bear cycle, so that way your funds are protected. Because let me tell you right now, if you think that you're gonna buy at $2, $3, $1.50 and diamond hand it, and you're gonna be rich, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. That is not how it works. So hopefully you guys learn from this, and we can grow and become rich together. How's everybody doing today? We are celebrating today. I just got my message from Twitch. We are now affiliated with Twitch, and we should be able to have subscriptions and stuff ready either by today or tomorrow. You should be able to subscribe, but however, it looks like the sentiment is that we cannot subscribe yet. So I do think I may need to get a few things, few ducks in a row before that happens. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good day today? Did you wake up happy or sad to a big green candle? That's my question. Poway Rock says, sign me up. And Poway Rock, thank you for your donations. I appreciate it very much. Your donations have been overwhelming. I was able to have the IT guy come in today and yesterday and get some stuff done and improve on the show because of your donations, guys. I appreciate that so much. Also, the stage crew came in, and by the way, can you guys hear the air conditioner? Do you guys hear the air conditioner? Awesome. No air conditioner. So perfect. So they installed the air conditioning for the studio, and uh, basically recessed it out so that none of the sound is coming in, because it's a smaller room, so it's got its own personal little AC. It's like a build off onto the house, an add on. Um, and next is building walls and doing the soundproofing, the carpet. Got a bunch of new carpet and padding. New drywall. It's looking amazing. It's coming along. I was hoping that it would be done, in a few days. However, it looks like it might take a few weeks. But that's cool, man. We're moving forward. That is the main thing, is we are progressing and we are getting better. So, when you say impulse wave 3, you're talking about this move up, the possibility of the inverted head and shoulders. Gina G, welcome. Don't forget, we are live on Twitch now, so the live on TikTok will be being cut soon. So if you want to continue to watch the show, you got to come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. Thank you, Gina. Yeah, I pretty much just have the live on here. Um, if you want to communicate and talk, I need you to do it in the Twitch chat, because I can't look at both screens at the same time and read the news and everything. It's just too much. However, if you did get a subscription, I am honoring those subscriptions on TikTok. So you'll still get those price points daily. You'll still get the messages. You'll still get um, all those perks of being a subscriber on TikTok. You can also subscribe on Twitch as well and just switch over completely. Um, but yes, I think. Oh, sorry for that. I think it's going to be a much better show over here on Twitch. The viewership is a lot lower, um, but the quality of the show is higher, and I think that's what we want to strive for. And I'm hoping that we can bring in new viewers. It seems like there is a lack of crypto news and economic news on Twitch, and so I feel like there's a space and a void that can be filled here. It will take some time, and that's why I'll continue to do um, TikTok for the time being. And also, we are recording the show. For those of you that have jobs or different things, I will be recording the shows and posting them to YouTube. So that is coming soon. So you'll be able to watch them after the show in case you miss it. What's up, Spider Man? Yes, thank you for making it over. I appreciate having you here. So, there's some things to consider with XRP right now. And the main thing to consider is that people think the moon is made of cheese. Okay. In all reality, I think we are just headed down. But it's frogs in a pot, ladies and gentlemen. Frogs in a pot. If you throw them into boiling water, they're going to jump out. They'll slowly but surely allow this thing to boil, but slowly over time. It's not going to be a big drop like I had predicted. It would have, but they continue to use fake news to keep boosting it up. And that's why the drops become more violent, because fake news can only do so much. Some news just came about the lawsuit settlement. Yep, I have that. Would you guys like to talk about the news about the lawsuit and settlement and wonder why we have a big red candle? Because literally all through this drop here, all the way down, since this green candle. Okay. This is Brad Garlinghouse's green candle, is what I call it. The Garlinghouse effect. Okay. This nice green candle. This is because Brad Garlinghouse came out and said, "Hey, the lawsuit's over, guys. It's over." And we pumped hard. Boom. I made a bunch of money, and I was able to take out profits and build this studio because of this right here. I had seen the Head and Shoulders pattern. However, I was like, okay, we're gonna jump in on this one. We should have actually pumped way harder. This Head and Shoulders should have brought us up to about 278, 280, but it fell short, guys. It fell short because we are in a bearish trend. However, I took that into consideration and was able to get some money. I figured it would fall short of this peak right here, and I went for the short term, which ended up paying off. So this right here, we were moving down. We got the Trump pump, and then we got the tariff dump. Okay. We got the Garlinghouse, and then we got the Fed dump. And then we got more of the tariff sentiment. We got a pump, and then tariffs went into effect. Okay. So no matter how hard they try to prop this up with bullish news, it always falls lower. And as you can see, we're having lower lows and lower highs. Okay, I wouldn't count this because this was just a FOMO response that happened. So, mind you, people think the moon is made of cheese. So this could be, as you see, we have this Head and Shoulders right here. That played out, right? Now, what I think usually happens is we get the inverse. Okay. That's typical to see an inverted Head and Shoulders, and that would take us back to 230. So, however, we're dropping today because of the news. But expect to see this, guys. The only thing that's going to stop this is if news gets out that tariffs are still in full effect and the economy's not getting any better. What's up, TikTok seller? So remember, guys, if you are watching on TikTok, we are use the Fibonacci retracement. That will give you levels of support. I don't need to use the Fibonacci, bro. We have been accurate to the cent. Okay. I don't use any indicators, and that's why I've been accurate to the cent. I literally called one, and I always take 1 or 2 cents, especially for a big drop, to be accurate. For over a month, I said that we would drop to about 160 to 163 and bounce up to $2 and come back down. And everybody in the chat saw that happen right in front of their eyes. I told them back in early February that that was going to happen. And it happened literally to the cent. And that's because I don't use Fibonacci for resistance. I do candle resistance. So I use the candle charts to find my resistance zone, and that gets me more accurate to the cent, and I can actually catch the wicks on these candles. So thank you for the advice. I do know how to use the fib retracement. However, I don't need it, but thank you. The spooky ghost method. Yes. Guys, don't forget, we are live on Twitch, and I will be turning off the TikTok soon. So if you would like to continue watching the show, we will be live on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. How low do you think we'll go before pumping to 230? Honestly, we could pump all the way down to 161 and then back up to 2 and continue forming the head, or we could start forming the shoulder. And guys, if you are on TikTok, make sure if you want to engage in the chat, you got to come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat on Twitch. So jump on over to Twitch and I will answer all those questions. Do you sell your trades to copy? No, but if you'd like to copy my trades, all you got to do is join the show. All you got to do is join the show on Twitch and you can copy any of my trades. Okay, how low do you think it will go before pumping to 230? That is a good question. It depends if we're forming the head or the shoulders right now. That is really the question. And either way, it could be. Yeah, we're having an early Halloween, guys. It's spooky, but we're having an early Halloween. So here's the deal, guys. If you are on TikTok, come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. I will be ending the stream soon. So if you want to catch the second half of the show, you got to come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. And thank you for all of you on the Twitch side that are patiently watching and waiting for information. We do have to take the next couple weeks to let everyone from TikTok that does know and watch the show to have a chance to come over to this side so that they don't get left behind. Because if people stay on TikTok, they're going to be sold that the moon is cheese, and we just can't have that. So we need to help people. I love how you can go from Fibonacci to Candleanachi. Yeah, exactly. We don't need the Fibonacci. I have indicators. I have the Bollinger Bands and everything, but literally when I use those, it puts me at a disadvantage. My price points are not as accurate. So when I eliminate, because I did start, using those for a while, and I was like, what the heck's going on? Why are my trades not doing so well? And I completely eliminated those from my trading tactics, and I just became way more profitable, way more quickly. I think we pumped first based off of news. Lawsuit dropped. No, the lawsuit has not been dropped. Let's talk about it. The lawsuit has not been dropped. And everybody thinks that the lawsuit is over. It is not. Let me see here. Let me find it. Where did they go? I guess you'll have to be patient. We'll get to it. But let me assure you that the Ripple case has not been dropped. Not at all. What's up, Mermaid Hila? Nikki, how you doing? So first of all, let's get this straight, guys. The Ripple case has not been dropped at all. The only people that have said that the Ripple case has been dropped is Ripple. And the case is ongoing with the SEC, and they have not acknowledged any type of dropping of the case. So there is no official stance on it being dropped, guys. So if you think that the Ripple case has been dropped, and you think that the injunction is no longer there and that institutions can buy Ripple, you have been sold a giant piece of moon cheese. Okay? It is not the case. You are eating moon cheese, guys. The truth and fact of the matter is, Ripple has only said this. The SEC has said nothing about this. And the fact of the matter is that the case is ongoing and the injunction is in place. And Here's the kicker, guys. Even if they remove the injunction, they still broke the law. That's why they have to pay a $50 million fine, because they broke the law. They cannot sell XRP to institutions. Okay? Until the law is changed and we have regulation and restructuring, then there's a possibility that then they could sell it to institutions. But as of right now, we don't even know what the regulations will be. Maybe the regulations will mirror what it's like to be a security. Who knows? We don't know. So it's all speculation. People are eating moon cheese, and they're it's going to be the death of them. And the reason why they're pumping moon cheese into the market, guys, is because they want to fatten you up on XRP, okay, and keep the prices inflated so that they can slowly sell off over time and they can use you as exit liquidity. Did you see that they bought Hidden Road for $500 million? I didn't see that. I'll have to look into that. I generally let the news simmer for a day or so. Like I'll pull out things that I know are already vetted, but a lot of times I have to wait for the news to mature a little bit before I'm willing to feed it to you guys, because I'm not here to feed you moon cheese, okay? I'm not here I want to give you steak, juicy, bloody steak. No moon cheese. Okay, XRP Ripple crashed below $2. Buy the dip or run for the hills? That is the question. Should we be buying the dip or running for the hills? The XRP cryptocurrency was created by a company called Ripple, blah, blah, blah. We know all that. XRP soared 235% in 2024. But the gains in XRP since faded. It's currently down more than 40% from its 52-week high. And then it broke below $2 last week, shortly after Trump announced sweeping tariffs on American trading partners, which turned investor sentiment sharply negative towards all risk assets. Since digital goods and services aren't subject to tariffs as they stand today, should investors buy the dip on XRP, or is it a sign of worse things to come? Ripple created innovative payment network. We know what that is. Less regulation is in the tailwind for Ripple. Back in 2020, we had the SEC case. Had the SEC won the lawsuit, it would have changed the way Ripple did business by forcing the company to operate under a strict set of rules and regulations. But in August of 2024, a judge ruled that XRP might only be a security in some circumstances, like when it's issued to institutional investors, but not when it's used in transactions or trade on crypto exchanges. Ripple has hit with a fine of $125 million, but the outcome was mostly viewed as a win. And obviously we know that was reduced, and we're going to read that. The SEC produced an appeal, the verdict, which threatened to tie the parties in court yet again. That's why XRP's investors viewed Trump's election win so positively. They felt the SEC would be less hostile to crypto industry overall on his watch, and it turns out they were right. Under Trump's acting SEC chairman, Mark Yuda, the agency agreed to a settlement with Ripple, which included a reduced fine of $50 million. The SEC has also paused or withdrawn active lawsuits against crypto giants like Binance. Listen to that. The SEC has also paused or withdrawn active lawsuits against crypto giants like Binance and Coinbase Global recently, further heightening the enormous shift in the regulatory views of industry. So they have not paused or withdrawn anything with crypto, or with not crypto, with XRP. Let me read the chats. There's news in Dragcoin. Read it still. B, good afternoon. And as you can see, we have the Nightbot in the chat. So you guys can click that little link right there and it will take you directly to send your donations for the show. Because we are not fully monetized yet, we do not have subscriptions yet. So when you want to be a part of the show, it seems to comment on the Twitch page because of buffering. Is that on my end? It's probably on your end because everything seems to be fine on Twitch. So Gina G, make sure you make the switch to Twitch because we will only be live on TikTok for 1 or 2 more days and then we're done with it. So if you guys are watching on TikTok, don't forget to come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. Okay, so the SEC's only paused or withdrawn lawsuits from Binance and Coinbase Global. That's it. The future upside in XRP could be limited. Even though XRP can save banks quite a bit of money on transaction costs, they don't actually need to use it. They can still benefit from instant settlements through Ripple payments, even if they use fiat currencies. In other words, the success of the payment network won't necessarily translate into higher prices for XRP. Waken Mermaid, as someone mentioned, Ripple secured Hidden Road. This broke over 48 hours ago. They are the global credit network for institutions, and they are partnered for quantitative-driven tech. Okay, that's awesome. And they mentioned Ripple, but as you can see here, banks do not need, and Ripple does not need to use XRP at all in their network. It may become an obsolete piece of tech, just to an FYI. So we don't want to give you moon cheese, guys. We want to give you the harsh reality that XRP gets its value from being held, not from transactions. Okay, transactions for XRP is like having a XRP being a bucket with no hole in it, or with a hole in the bottom and trying to fill it. Okay, so keep that in mind. That might be why XRP failed to surpass its all-time high in 2018 during the post-election rally, despite a softer regulatory environment clearly benefiting Ripple. It appears XRP's price movements are mostly determined by speculative investors. As I mentioned at the top, XRP is currently down more than 40% from its recent 52-week high. After its last major rally in 2018, which culminated in its record high price of 340, the token declined by more than 90%. The same outcome might be the motion right now, so I wouldn't buy XRP here, is what they say. Should you invest 1,000 in XRP right now? The Motley Fool advertiser analyst team just identified that they believe there are 10 stocks to buy and XRP wasn't one of them. Okay, so right now is probably not a good time to be jumping into Ripple. Okay, there is some short-term trading to be made that can be profitable. However, the moon is not made of cheese. Okay, and we are declining and we are heading down back to smart money entry zones. And once we hit down here, guys, down at the bottom, that's when it's going to be time to buy. Okay, We want to buy the bottom. We want to accumulate all through these zones. This is where you're going to do your dollar cost averaging as it goes up and down. Okay. And you're going to buy up and accumulate as much as you can. Okay. For the next, excuse me, for the next peak. I am so tired, guys. I was up all night last night. We had the stage crew in here working on the stage and the show. We had the IT guy in here all last night. I think he left at about 10:30. And I believe he's coming back tonight again. And that's because you guys have been donating, which is why I've been able to continue to pay the staff and keep this show rolling. So as you guys keep sending in those donations, we will continue to build. So I do appreciate it. The new cameras come in this week. I'm excited. Cameras. You guys are going to get to see my beautiful face. For those of you that are watching on TikTok, if you want to see my face, you're going to have to come over to Twitch. So that's Oz the Crypto Goat on Twitch. And if you want to engage in the chat, come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. So remember, guys, the moon is not made of cheese. However, this does look like we may be forming a head and shoulders pattern, which means we'll probably consolidate here a little bit more, and then eventually probably, I say Wednesday. That's the 16th? Wednesday the 16th, we would possibly start breaking out and moving over the next week in an upward trend. And those of you on TikTok, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends, send in those gifts. Your gifts are much appreciated. I do appreciate it, but the gift, the best gift you can give is to come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. So let's take a look at the 1 minute here. Do a little technical analysis. Short term in between the news, just to kind of see. And it looks like, you know, it's moving up. It's trying to get its way up there. So we had a hard fall here. And we're slowly working our way back up. But let's see, when was this was today. We had another big fall, huh? So we had a nice little dip. Oh, that was the other day. Yeah. Right? No, that was today. So we dipped down and we're going to work our way back up. It's possible. Okay. It's in all likelihood, we shouldn't. Okay. We should not move up. However, I'm trying to factor in that people think the moon is made of cheese, and fake news is pumping rhetoric that the tariffs have been paused for 90 days, which they have not. Okay. There is no pause on tariffs, but they are spoon feeding people tariff paused moon cheese. So because of that, I'm factoring that in. That is a new thing that I'm factoring into my trades because they are not going to allow it to crash the way it should. They want it to happen slowly over time, like frogs in a pot to boil. So they want you to think, okay, we're above $2 again. It's moving up. It's going to go up to 10K. It's going to go up to $100. All kinds of crazy different sentiments that it's going around, okay? And they will allow it to pump up a little bit and then drop it hard and then pump it up a little again and then drop it hard. And each time it pumps, it'll pump a little bit lower and it'll drop a little bit further. And that's how it's going to go. Until I see something that indicates otherwise, that's what I believe. But it looks like we may be breaking structure for Head and Shoulders. Okay? Unless we move up and get back up to like 210 and even like 215, we could continue to zigzag our way down. Okay? This right here is a bearish pattern. This is an ascending wedge, which leads me to believe we're going to drop more. So I think we should see 188 soon. It may stop at 190 because that's a psychological zone, but 188 is the next move. So we are coming down, and then we'll probably do another thing like that. Come down. We are working our way down. If we drop below 180 and continue downward, remember, we could go all the way. It would have to be a sharp drop, but we could continue all the way down to 175 and bounce up harshly again, another big green candle, and then this would still kind of be a Head and Shoulders. But it looks like we may be breaking structure. However, we would have to drop below 175. So if we move up and we consolidate between 210 and 190, then we're still in the Head and Shoulders pattern. But if we break down and continue this way like this, and we break 180 and continue downward, more than likely, I would say that the Head and Shoulders is not broken. Mind you, there is no Head and Shoulder formation formed yet. Okay, don't FOMO, don't freak out, okay? But I see them forming before they form, and that's how we're able to get those accurate price points, how we're able to get into the market before things happen, how I'm able to see things happen before they happen. But be patient, okay? Be patient. Now is not the time to be entering, okay? We are in either a drop or a consolidation zone. Either time is not a time to be jumping in, okay? So be patient, wait. I will be posting those price point videos so that you'll know, but it could take a week before we move up if it does decide to do that. So anything can happen within that week. You have time. Don't FOMO. Be patient. I can't be more, I can't tell you more that this whole thing is about patience. Okay. If you're looking to make a trade, okay, and you think that you're going to fulfill your goals in that trade within hours, you're doing it wrong. Okay. The big moves are made over days and weeks and months. Okay. Reality check. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate you. And guys, don't forget, if you are watching on TikTok, we are on Twitch now. We will be leaving TikTok. So that's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. So come on over. We have a more professional show on Twitch. We have professional audio and video. The screen is cast directly to your device, so you can actually see the price points. I'm leaving TikTok because they're stealing from me. I don't want to say the B word, but they keep being me for nothing I've done wrong, and they're using it to take profits that I have been earning. So we are not staying on TikTok. They are stealing. They are hitting me with all kinds of stuff. I have to literally write maybe 20 to 25 appeals after every live on TikTok. I'm done with writing appeals. I haven't had to write one appeal on Twitch. So we are moving to Twitch. It just has to be that way. And if you can't give up your TikTok cold turkey, I understand it is highly addictive, but I'm moving away from it. So if you want to continue to get this information, you're going to have to come to Twitch. Sorry. If you want to stay on TikTok, I'm sure you can find someone like Calvin Hill that'll feed you all the moon cheese you're looking for and give you all those endorphins you like. But that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you a quality show, and I'm not here to feed you moon cheese. So TikTok wants to feed you moon cheese, so therefore I can't thrive here because that's not what I'm serving. So if you want to know why I'm leaving TikTok, that's why. So please come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. If you want to continue to make beautiful trades, because I'll tell you what, if crypto fizzles out and there's no money to be made here, we'll switch over to the stock market and we'll start trading over there. We'll be day trading, making big money. I always pick the biggest movers and the best projects. So if you want to be making money and that's what you're about, then follow us on Twitch. If you're about being addicted to TikTok, then stay where you're at. You're in the right place. I'm not here to convince anybody. Am I able to invest no matter how small the stock market? Yes, you can. You can invest fractions of a dollar, but I think you have to have at least $1 in there. But if you would like to engage in the chat, guys, come over to Twitch. Otherwise, I can't do two chats at the same time. So if you do have questions and want to ask things, come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. And if you want to go over a different project like XCN, you got to come over to Twitch. Did you see XCN? It's booming 70%. Yeah, that seems to be what everybody's talking about. And that's a big indication of, I'm not saying XCN is a meme coin. I believe it serves utility. However, that is a heavy indication that we are moving out of altcoin season into meme coin season. Mind you. What's up, Night King? Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for leaving TikTok. Because we won't be doing the live on TikTok for much longer. Literally yesterday, I was live for 5 hours. I made negative $1.72, and I had only one person watching, or 1 to 3 people watching the entire time. So if you want to know why I'm leaving, that's why. So let's see. Let's look at the bubble map. What's going on? Sorry, Neo, if you got in trouble for spamming. The IT guy put on a Nightbot thing. So we're already monetized, so I don't need you guys to spam the chat anymore. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna have him remove that because I love the spamming. Look at XCN and Fartcoin. Hype. Okay. Here's your indication. We are moving to the end of meme coin season. Fartcoin is up 85%. Okay. That should tell you right there that altcoin utility coin season's over. Okay. Everything's down. I don't know what you did either. I'm going to have the IT guys coming back in tonight. I'm gonna have him take off the night, but I'm not quite sure how to do it. He set all that stuff up. Sorry about that. He should be here at about 4 or 5. So it should get. Jared Barnett, what's going on, man? How you doing, Jared? I got some information for you, Jared. I want to let you know that I am still honoring your subscription, so I will still be posting those price points, and you can message me directly. However, coming to get some news from you. Yeah, man. We definitely got some news today. But I do want to inform you that we are facing heavy retaliation from TikTok. So we are moving to Twitch. So you can find me on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. However, I will be honoring those subscriptions on TikTok still. So I'll still be posting those videos um, and price points, and I'll still be allowing you to message me directly. However, the live stream is going to be on Twitch now. So join us on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. If you are streaming from Stream Elements, they have a bot. I believe I am streaming from Stream Element. Well, I'm using OBS, but I think the Stream Elements is the donations page. Got you. Yeah. I is there a way to remove the bot, or it just has to be that way? Yeah, I'll have the IT guy come in today and remove the bots for that. Um, he came in last night and changed a bunch of stuff. Did you guys see the new loading screen? Look at this is our new loading screen. Um, just set up everything through OBS. I don't know. I don't do all that stuff. That's the IT guy. So I'm gonna let him have his creative whatever. But if you have like videos or something that shows how to do that, then I'll send it to him. Otherwise, I'm just gonna let him do his thing. He's the brains here. Yeah, I noticed emojis are gone too. He was not finished last night. Once he was setting everything up, he ended up working like an extra hour of overtime, and I just couldn't afford to pay him anymore. And he has other jobs and things that he had to do today. So he will be back in today at 5 after the live, and we'll be working on it some more. So it's going to take some time for all this to build and progress. We should have subscriptions very soon. So just be patient with me, guys. I do apologize, but just have some understanding that this is all very new, and it's going to grow and progress daily. And as long as you guys are sending in those donations, I'm going to be able to keep affording to have him come in, having the stage crew build the stage. Oh man, the stage is looking so badass. I'm so excited. It's ice cold. It is freezing ice cold in this room right now. It's ridiculous. And you guys can't even hear the air conditioner. It's amazing. So, yeah, this is coming along really well. Fartcoin is down. I know, but Fartcoin is like bloated in the green. and it's been up for a whole month. Okay. Look at, we're on the 1 month for Fartcoin. Okay. And it's up. So that should tell you right now that we're in altcoin season, guys. Or excuse me, we're nearing the end of altcoin season, and we're smack dab in meme coin season. We already had altcoin season. It just didn't pump like we expected because the liquidity is more spread out. There's more of these bubbles than there's ever been. There's more meme coins than there's ever been. So keep that in mind, guys. Look at Bitcoin. You know what I see happening to Bitcoin right here? And everybody says, oh, well, it always gradually goes up and up and up, right? There's a possibility it could form a head and shoulders and crash down all the way to like $20,000. So keep that in mind, especially knowing that China is pumping fake Tether coin to pump the market. That should tell you that we could more than likely this is Bitcoin, guys. We could come down here and do that. Okay? Because China has been making Tether stablecoin and pumping it into Bitcoin, okay? Propping up the price of Bitcoin. And because of that, for every $100 that is in Bitcoin, it's only backed by 1 penny. We did have an alt season. You just didn't know it because the liquidity is more spread out. Our first alt seasons that we've had, we didn't have as many projects. Now we have all kinds of different projects. The liquidity is more spread out. So if you think that we're not in alt season, you're mistaken. And people pretty much skipped over alt season. We did have an alt pump, but they skipped over alt season and went straight to memes because they wanted to make a quick buck. You're welcome to disagree, but when I'm right, like I've been about everything so far, I can say I told you so. Okay? Isn't that hype pump from social media? Yep. It's all from fake news. Fake news is the only thing keeping up the markets because they know that there is no alt season. They know that there is no massive mega bull cycle happening, but they want to keep that sentiment alive as long as possible so that you're frogs in a pot and you boil. And if I'm wrong on that, I will gladly say that I'm wrong. And by the way, guys, if you are watching on TikTok and you want to come engage in the chat, I'd more than happy to have you in the chat. However, we are live on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. So if you want to engage in the chat, come on over to Twitch, guys. We will be leaving TikTok. Jacob, what's up? I don't know what Ivarez be coming on TikTok for. He can't help but get that dopamine hit. And I get it, guys. A lot of people, they'll watch on Twitch for a while and then they just jump off and they got to go back to TikTok because like we're not getting all the new people coming through this channel yet. We're not we're just building. So it's not as wow, right there in your face, you know, which is that dopamine hit that you get from TikTok. We don't get that here at Twitch. So I do notice there are people that are addicted to TikTok. They will leave and jump back on TikTok. And I get it. It's very addictive. So it's not going to be something that you can give up overnight. If you want to talk about Ethereum, come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat. Normally, I allow that for subscribers only. However, if you jump over to Twitch, I will be more than happy to do that for you. Oh, smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Share the show with your friends. Let's get back into the news. We've got more news to cover. More news. All right. XRP to $2.50. Okay. If it makes that head and shoulders pattern, it could do something like this. Okay. So keep that in mind. This would be a short-term trade. If it does happen, but they're saying 250. I'm saying like 247 at the very top. It won't reach 250. There's no way. You just bought XRP. Why? Why would you buy it? Have you been watching the show? Look it. It's forming. FOMO. Yeah. You may make a quick buck, but I think we're gonna move down, yo. Look at it. It's not 150, but probably like at least 180. I just said no, I didn't say 250. The stupid fake news article said 250. Yeah, you guys, just because I put up a news article doesn't mean that that's the case. It means we're going to be reading about what they have to say. Okay. So, mind you, you guys don't have to make your trades like instantly at a snap of a fingers. You guys should watch the show. You have time. Okay. Don't FOMO. If you have a problem with FOMO, you probably shouldn't be trading. Got me excited for a second. I also think it's going down now. Yeah, it's definitely going down. But this is just an article that some random guy wrote. But we have to, take into consideration what they have to say. And you'll always see, they'll say, oh, it's going to $2.50. And they'll say all these magical, perfect things that have to happen in order for it to happen. And then at the end, they usually say, but that's probably not likely. Okay. These are FOMOing ads. They're literally designed to make you do what you just did. These ads are made to make you do what you just did. Okay, so there's a lesson to be learned here. Could it still do this? Maybe. But let's read what they have to say. It looks like XRP might be gearing up. And yes, we're going to read about the bull trap next. We're going to read about the probability of this being a bull trap, because somebody also wrote that this is probably a bull trap. And we've had nothing but bull traps. But if you're in the market right now, hold on. You don't buy, you don't sell when we're in a consolidation zone, guys. That is just regular trading, tactics. You don't buy and you don't sell in consolidation, guys. You wait for a breakout and then you buy or sell. Okay, that's how good trading is done. We are in consolidation, which means you can relax. You cannot FOMO. You can just chill and wait for a breakout. You're never going to get the very bottom or the very top. I mean, you do when you trade with me, because I will call them. Here's the bottom, here's the tip. And they're usually spot on within the cent. However, generally, that's not how things are done. And we're not going to catch every bottom tip and every top tip, guys. We can sometimes, but the money is to be made in the middle. Okay. So be patient. Don't FOMO. Okay. Just because I pull up a news article doesn't mean that I believe that it's true. I'm bringing it here so that way you can see both sides of the coin and you can make a educated decision that I'm not just deciding for you. I will tell you what my sentiment is. I think we're going down more because people have been fed moon cheese, and moon cheese only props up the market for so long. Eventually it gets out and then the mousetrap springs. Okay? So don't fill up on moon cheese. Okay? It looks like XRP might be gearing up for a big price move as the Bollinger Bands are showing signs that have usually conveyed an upward shift in the cryptocurrency valuation. This time, they point towards the 250 level, which would be a 27% move from its current trading range. And this is only based off of Bollinger Bands, okay? They have not taken any indication or into the sentiment of what's going on in the world and the news. We do both. We look at these and we look at the news and we also factor in moon cheese. I get what you're saying and that's why I trust you, but I also make some good money once in a while on short-term trades. I believe that it's going to go down to 150. Yeah. But I agree that this one was probably a mistake, a big one, but whatever, I'll sell it. No, hold on to it. Wait for it. We're in a consolidation zone. So I would say hold on to it, man. Don't freak out. Okay? It's going up right now. Okay? It could very well form a little head and shoulders here and pop it all the way back up to $2 or 208. Just hold on, okay? Just wait, be patient. You already got in. Yeah, you already bought in at 197-ish probably, I'm thinking. So you're already starting to climb. Let's see what it does. It'll probably come up as high as 204, 205, or it'll hit $2 and slam back down. Mind you, $2 is a heavy resistance zone, so it takes a lot of work to break above it. So it's going to take some heavy, heavy buy pressure. I would say, you know, it'll probably hit $2 and then work its way back down. And it'll drop hard. But we'll see. I would hold on to it and wait and see what it does. You know, but this is a little short term, so maybe it'll peak and it'll come all the way up here to 208 or even further. Maybe it'll hit 215. So it just depends on buy pressure. People think in their minds that things are getting good. Good day, all. Just catching up on what you're saying. Yeah. Things could get better or they could get worse. Okay. They should get worse. Thank you, KJax. Appreciate you too. Don't forget to come watch on Twitch. I would put my stop loss at 188, 186, because it could drop down and still peak up and this be a head and shoulders. This could be a shoulder forming. This could also just be all the way down. But if it does drop, it'll probably hit 180 and then pop back up. But I feel like you bought the top. I would just wait and watch and see what it does, but it sounds like 199 might be the top right here as far as short-term trade. I don't know if that's enough to cover your gas fees, but you know, just you know, be smart. 197. That would be like a multi-day trade. Remember, it could drop all the way down here to 188, 184, and then come right back up. It could drop all the way to 160 or 175 and come right back up to where it's at, and we could still be forming the Head and Shoulders. Yeah, I agree. I panicked and I bought the top while talking to my wife. Blame it on the wife, huh? My gas fees are pretty darn low with how much I trade the last couple months. Yeah, mine are the same way. I do a lot of trades, so my gas fees have been pretty low. I have a feeling that $2 is going to be the top right here, and then it's going to come back down in the short term. This is the 15-minute. Let's go into the 1 minute. Let's do this. I wasn't really doing this, but I want to help out Jacob to make sure he don't lose some money. I think we're hitting the top now, and we'll probably continue back downward because we're falling. Okay. This big green candle is what I call a moon cheese candle. Okay. And we are price correcting from it. Every time we've had big green candles, we have a dump, a little bit of a pump, a dump, a little bit of a pump, and then a dump. And that'll bring us all the way back down to the bottom of the candle, which is 186. So if you did buy, I would say you may want to get out. I think $2 is going to be the top. You got to remember, we dropped below $2 here. $2 is no longer support, it's resistance. What's up, mermaid? You had to get your fix of TikTok? Couldn't stay on Twitch? Just messing with you. I noticed a lot of people, they'll be watching on Twitch and then they jump back over to TikTok for a little bit and then they'll come back over to Twitch because I get it. There's a dopamine hit that you're missing out on when you're not on TikTok. So I'm not going to hold it against you. It's highly addictive. I get it. All right, back to the news. Let's read what he has to say. More moon cheese. The daily chart has recently shown a rebound from just below 180. Mind you, this is an older article too. What is catching attention now is the tight Bollinger Bands, where before this bounce, technical sign that can often see a bull pump of volatility waiting to happen. It can also show a bear drop waiting to happen. Okay. So literally it gave us nothing other than the Bollinger Bands are tightening. So that means it could probably pump, which also means it could probably dump. We're in consolidation. You shouldn't buy or sell. This is when you see things like this, it has a question mark next to it. Okay. This is meant to feed you moon cheese. What's up? How's it going? Glad to see you here. Don't feed in the moon cheese. I'm going to stop doing this so because evidently I was just pulling that up to show you that they're trying to feed people moon cheese. You got out? I would have got out at 2. I would have set a limit for 2 because it's going to come up and double top. Let me explain something to you. Okay. See here in the 1 minute? See how we hit 199.72? And then we dip down again. It's going to move back up again, and it's probably going to touch 199 again. Okay. It's going to hit $2. And this is where you set your limit order. Okay. So you bought in at Sold at 199. That ain't too bad. 199 is okay, but it's gonna go back up to almost 199.72, or it might. This could be the end. You may have just caught the little tippity tip, but generally when it peaks, it'll come back down and it'll double top or something, and then it'll come back down. But it looks like it might head and shoulders here and then come back down. So, what did you get in at? What price did you buy at? You got out at 199. When did you get in? Let me give you guys a little word of advice. If $2 is support, you would want to buy at $2, 205. If $2 is resistance, you would want to wait for it to come back down. $2 would be the top. That's why it dropped down and everyone was buying at $2 and it dropped past. And a lot of people lost money and it fell like crazy. So when the $2 zone is a dangerous place to buy, okay? Very dangerous place to buy. Let me make that clear one more time. The $2 zone is a very dangerous place to buy, especially if we're under it and we're in a bear cycle. Look at, we're going to head and shoulders here and come back down. Just a moment. I'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Holy crap, that air conditioner gets so freaking cold. $2 is a dangerous zone because it's a heavy resistance or heavy support. Okay, so if we're under $2 and you're buying at $2, it's probably going to drop from there. You know, don't expect it to move past $2. It's going to hit it every time and then come back down, unless there's like a news thing or to push it above. But literally, we already fell hard below $2 and we're creeping back up to it, and we're going to hit back down. We're trending downward. We have higher or lower highs and lower lows. Okay, you see how we look at this? Let me plot it for you. So the highs are getting lower. They're getting lower and lower, and then this time it didn't even reach the blue line and it's dropping down. And then now the lows are getting lower. So this is a descending channel, which could be an indication of that once it reaches down here at 185 to 188 somewhere, that it could potentially either, I would say probably push up. This is a descending channel. So we would push up into it. We'll probably move down. And that would take us up. Okay. But it's going to move. I would say your buy point would be like 188 to 186. Oh my God, I think the light bulb went on in my head. I absolutely understand everything you said. That's progress. Good. I'm glad you're seeing it. I'm glad you're seeing it. And like this lines up perfectly. We have our $2 resistance. We have our 188, 189 resistance. We have our 195, 196 resistance. All the way back down to our 186 resistance that could potentially bounce us up to like 215. Potentially. Or we get some bad news and we waterfall off. But this is generally a correction from moving down and then we would move up again. But this happened because of fake news. So I don't know if it's going to play out this way. Generally, fake news only lasts so long and then it drops. It could drop down and drop below at some point where it just breaks out and falls down. And then it would bounce up to like $2 and then continue coming down. But as of right now, so let's Google it and let me show you, since we're having a little class today. So here, let me find one. This is it right here. So we pushed up. Now we're in a descending channel, which should push us back up. Do you know if you saw my last, I sent you a whisper for the video on Stream Elements. I did see the one, was that the one for the donations? Because that's the video I used to give to the IT guy. You're sitting in the front row this time. Good. Glad to see you here. So we had a strong bull push up. We're having, and this almost looks identical to what we're doing right now. Okay. Okay. XRP. Descending breakout channel. Okay. So more than likely, this is going to break us out. And, you know, the charts are saying that. Oh, the bot. Okay, I'll check out that whisper. Thank you. I appreciate you, B. You've been very helpful. So I think this is what the chart is saying. Okay. The charts are saying that we're going to get a nice little push. Okay. However, be careful. Okay. And if that is the case, I would say that your buy point is going to be at 188, 189. Okay. And maybe even as low as 186, 187. Okay. That would be your buy point. But mind you, we could drop and it come up and it breaks out of here. Let me plot it for you. Keep this in mind. $2 is very strong. Okay? So what could happen is we could drop and maybe even come below the line a little bit and then come up to $2 and double top and come back down. So we're in a consolidation zone, okay? But what the chart is telling me is that we're going to break upward. Okay? We're going to move upward. Let's get out of the 1 minute and let's look at the 30 minute. Okay? "30 minutes says we should drop to about 188, 189. Okay? This is kind of a bull flag, okay? This is what you would kind of call a bull flag. It's not a pennant. So this does signal that we could push, okay? Don't buy yet. Hold on. Before you do that, listen up, okay? Yes, we could be forming a head and shoulders. This is possible, okay? We have a bull flag indication of that, but that bull flag could literally only pop us up to 119, and then we're still in the armpit and come back down and consolidate sideways like this and then push up. Okay? It's not going to be one straight shot up there. We still have to form the other part of the shoulder. That looks a lot different than a head and shoulders. Well, it's an inverted head and shoulders. It has a big head on it. It's a possibility, but it hasn't quite formed this other shoulder yet, okay? Is what I'm trying to tell you. It's probably going to do something like this. Okay? It'll probably do something like this. And what it will do is, this is at that $2 line. It'll probably bounce up and just keep hitting the bottom of $2 and then eventually bounce up from there. But it has to get $2 as its support line. Okay? And it would form the other side of the shoulder, and then it would be a head and shoulders. Okay? Maybe. All right? So just keep in mind we have a bullish signal possibly forming right here, where I think 185, 188 would be the entry point if that's the case. All right? And also take into consideration this. Okay, now I know that this is for Bitcoin, but they all mirror each other. Crypto trading firm warns of a classic bull trap as Bitcoin targets 82.7K. So listen up. I'm going to let it read it to you.
Becoming part of a classic bull trap when the US-China trade war takes its next step, analysis warns. In its latest bulletin to Telegram channel subscribers on April 10, trading firm QCP Capital cautioned over the latest crypto price rebound. QCP, Chinese countermeasures may leave crypto bulls stranded. Bitcoin and altcoins joined global stock markets in rallying over the past 24 hours thanks to a decision by U.S. President Donald Trump to pause many of his new trade tariffs. China was a clear exception to the policy, however, with Trump doubling down on tariffs while alleviating pressure on other countries. For QCP, now is the time not for relief, but to brace for China's next move. With China singled out so explicitly, market participants are bracing for Beijing's counterpunch, it explained. Should retaliation materialize in force, the exuberant rally could quickly morph into a classic bull trap. BTC/used 1-hour chart. Source: Cointelegraph/trading view. Such a scenario would form a repeat of market behavior already seen this week. As Cointelegraph reported, an
Can you
earlier
hear it
rumor
now?
of a tariff pause, which failed to find official confirmation, sparked whipsaw stock moves never seen before. Crypto trading firm warns of classic bull trap as Bitcoin tags $82.7 thousand. Bitcoin, BTC, risks becoming part of a classic bull trap when the US-China trade war takes its next step, analysis warns. In its latest bulletin to Telegram channel subscribers on April 10, trading firm QCP Capital cautioned over the latest crypto price rebound. QCP, Chinese countermeasures may leave crypto bulls stranded. Bitcoin and altcoins joined global stock markets in rallying over the past 24 hours thanks to a decision by U.S. President Donald Trump to pause many of his new trade tariffs. China was a clear exception to the policy, however, with Trump doubling down on tariffs while alleviating pressure on other countries. For QCP, now is the time not for relief, but to brace for China's next move. With China singled out so explicitly, market participants are bracing for Beijing's counterpunch, it explained. Should retaliation materialize in force, the exuberant rally could quickly morph into a classic bull trap. BTC/used 1-hour chart. Source: Cointelegraph/trading view. Such a scenario would form a repeat of market behavior already seen this week. As Cointelegraph reported, an earlier rumor of a tariff pause, which failed to find official confirmation, sparked whipsaw stock moves never seen before. The surprise policy pivot temporarily soothed market anxiety, driving short-end crypto vols lower. Still, we advocate caution, QCP continued. Our desk continues to observe topside selling in May and June, suggesting that market makers are using the rally as an opportunity to offload unwanted positions. Bitcoin to get meaningful slice of yuan outflows. Others noted potential tailwinds for Bitcoin in the form of Chinese yuan devaluation as a stopgap measure in the trade dispute. US dollar to Chinese yuan hit 18-year lows of 7.35 on the day. Related, crypto stocks see big gains alongside US stock market rebound. No deal, BOT continues a very gradual yuan weakening. Shit bout to get spicy. Luckily $BTC loves money printing and associated CC weakness. pic.twitter.com/RC, VK, SJ5403. Arthur Hayes, at Crypto Hayes, April 10, 2025. China beginning currency devaluation is more than just an economic signal, it's a trigger, Sina, co-founder of asset management firm 21st Capital, told ex-followers in part of a post on the topic. Historically, when the yuan weakens, capital doesn't stay put. It escapes. Some of it flows into gold, some into foreign assets, and a meaningful slice finds its way into Bitcoin. USD/CNY 1-month chart. Source: Cointelegraph/trading view. Sina suggested that the macroeconomic reality would make BTC exposure more attractive going forward. Now layer on rising tariffs, slowing global trade, and a deepening crisis of confidence in traditional financial systems. The result? A growing demand for neutral, borderless, incorruptible assets, he concluded. Bitcoin isn't just a hedge anymore. It's becoming a necessity in a world looking for stability outside the control of any one nation. In subsequent discussions, however, he acknowledged that Bitcoin had unlikely put in a long-term price bottom. Previously, Cointelegraph reported on various BTC price targets for a sustained rebound, with many of these focusing on $70,000. This article does not contain investment advice or recommendations. Every investment and trading move involves risk, and readers should conduct their own research when making a decision.
So did you get that? This is for Bitcoin, but it's, they all kind of mirror each other. This is a potential bull trap forming right now, especially with the trade war that's going on. So be careful, guys. It's been bull trap after bull trap after bull trap. That's why I'm looking at the chart and everything looks bullish, but I still feel like we didn't fall low enough because of tariffs. And the only reason we're up in a bullish signal is because of Moon Cheese news. Okay? Moon Cheese is the only thing holding up the market. And we got Moon Cheese here and we crashed. We got Moon Cheese here and we crashed. So if we got Moon Cheese here, what's probably going to happen? We're going to crash. Okay? Keep that in mind. That Moon Cheese only does so much to the market. It is a temporary relief valve to stop us from literally waterfalling all the way down to $1 or lower. That's why they do it. They use fake news to artificially prop up. But I'm also factoring in the fact that if we start to break this structure, they'll come out with a Moon Cheese article that brings it back up and continues to make the structure so that way people start FOMOing in, buying it up. It runs up to, they said 250. I don't see 250. 247 at the most. Probably not even that. 240 at the most, 230. They'll be, FOMOing to get in and then they'll dump it off again. So one of two things is going to happen. It's either going to dump now this weekend, which seems likely. It will probably break up. It'll come down here. It'll hit $2 again and move sideways. And then it'll drop off on Sunday. Okay, keep that in mind. What is Moon Cheese? Moon Cheese is fake news rhetoric that basically says that XRP is going to $10,000. Fake news, stuff like that. That's Moon Cheese. It's cheese in a mouse trap. Okay, they make you think that it's going to the moon. They get you to bite the cheese and then the trap snaps. That's why I call it Moon Cheese. And for those of you that are watching on TikTok, don't forget to come over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. So if you want to engage in the chat, come on over to Twitch. And guys, don't forget that this show is supported by viewers like you. So if you do want to contribute to the show, it's all done through donations, guys. So when you send donations, we get 100% of that revenue. When you get your subscriptions and stuff, we only get a small percentage of that. So when you give to the Cash App or to the Venmo, 100% of that goes to pay the staff for this show. So I do appreciate it. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. Right now it's a 50-50. I am also factoring in the fact, because of Moon Cheese, that they've done this, that it is probable that we could push up, but it's also probable that Asian markets could see it as, an opportunity to dump on people and to crash our markets. Remember, we're in a trade war. A trade war. China wants to do everything it can to crash our markets, and that's crypto included. Lincoln Mark XRP, thank you for following from TikTok. Glad to have you over here. Hope you enjoy the Twitch side of the show. It's definitely a more professional show. We have professional audio and video. So I hope that you're enjoying it. Thank you for joining. And that's why we're going to keep doing the TikTok live, because we are gaining new people from it. So it does still draw in new people. which is great. However, the video and audio quality is just not the same. And we're not on Twitter. We're on Twitch. That's Twitch. B, if you're watching, can you jump over to TikTok and post the link for Twitch if you could? Yeah, that's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. Yeah, we are live on Twitch, guys. So come on over. You're going to enjoy the show much better here. It's not a camera pointed at a screen. I understand if you don't use Twitch, but that's where we're going to be at. And if you want to get the truth, then Twitch is the place to be at because we are being pushed out of TikTok. Thank you, TikTok seller. I appreciate you. So come on over to Twitch. You're going to enjoy the show much better. If you want to know if it's a good time to buy or watch, come on over to Twitch and join the chat. We won't be doing the chat from the TikTok side. So if you want to chat and ask those questions, come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercase, no spaces, guys. But you know, we're kind of forming something like this, but it's small. It's small. It's in, you know, the 1 minute, the 30 minute, you know, you zoom out to the hour and it's really not much. It's getting smaller and smaller. So for all those of you who have switched over, I do appreciate it. Afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? We're doing great. We're just taking a look at the moon cheese. People are being fed, spoon-fed moon cheese right now, and it's disgusting. I am so full of moon cheese right now, I can't take it. Are you making any trades now? No, I'm holding stable coins, guys, and waiting for smart money entry zones. Yeah, Twitch is far superior than what TikTok has. Yes, it's much easier to see. I love that I can exit out of the app while I make a trade and keep listening. Exactly. Explain my moon cheese. That XRP is going to the moon. No, moon cheese is the cheese that they put into the trap. It's a mouse trap, and they feed you with all these ideas that it's going to the moon when we're already on our way back to Earth. That sentiment could change at some point, but as of this point, it's moon cheese. It's cheese in a mouse trap, and they're spoon feeding it to everybody and using people as exit liquidity. So that's what moon cheese is. They're selling an idea that XRP is going to $10,000 this week. Okay, now I understand your reference. I thought that was what you meant. Just want to be sure. No, moon cheese is the rhetoric that we're going to the moon and they're spoon feeding it to people through the news. Speaking of the news, let's segue into our next. Ripple is plummeting today. The SEC holds a closed door meeting today that could result in a crucial update, right? And that's why I'm saying moon cheese, guys. There's a closed door meeting. They're probably going to come out. Ripple's going to say something, whatever it is, going to be some kind of rumor of moon cheese that should keep it in that bullish pattern, or it ends up being a big nothing burger and China comes in and dumps our markets. So it's a 50-50 right now. Technically, we're in a consolidation zone. So we just got to kind of watch and see. You don't buy or sell in a consolidation zone. You just wait for a breakout. Investors Okay, I understand your reference. Thought that's what you meant. Had to come. R Mark, thank you. Thank you for joining us on Twitch. Appreciate you. I do appreciate you. And anybody that is on TikTok, don't forget we are live on Twitch. So if you want to engage in the chat, come on over to Twitch, and that's where we're doing all of our chat from. So come on over. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. And it's a much better video and audio quality. So you're going to actually be able to see the screen and enjoy it. I'm really interested in your show. It's really helpful. And that's the point of this whole show. I'm trying to help people. And we are, if you're in the chat right now, go ahead and tell him, because he's a new guy. Let him know how accurate we've been. Literally, I've been sniping the tops and the bottoms of these trades every single day, literally to the cent. Right now, however, things are, even in the volatility, we've been sniping these trades. However, it is a little bit difficult right now to figure out which direction we are going. So we do have to watch. And if you do subscribe on TikTok, I post daily price point videos so that you can see which direction we're going. Because I do put out like red alerts, like once, something breaks, whether it's going to go up or down. But right now we're kind of in a phase of everything looks bullish, but I don't trust it. Because it's been bull trap after bull trap, guys. So I want to wait for confirmation of a breakout above $2 before I enter. I don't need to, get in at 180. I'd rather catch the middle than catch the stick. You know what I mean? I'd rather catch the middle than catch the stick, man. So investors are wary the SEC will not end its year-long suit against XRP, its owner Ripple. Hey Oz, it's definitely good at this. He can read charts and understand all the news and BS. He's most helpful for me in cooling my jets and getting me to be more patient and safe. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. And Jacob, I appreciate your donation you made to the show. I was able to pay the IT guy because of all the donations that came in yesterday. So much appreciated. Remember, any donations are welcomed. You can send them directly to the Cash App or to the Venmo, or you can click the link that pops up about every 30 minutes, and you can donate there through PayPal. So thank you all that have donated, because basically we're not monetized anymore. I went live on TikTok yesterday for 5 hours and I made negative $1.77. They're literally stealing from me. Yeah, I appreciate you guys too. And we're growing, and eventually I hope to one day turn a profit from all this. But if all I get is a nice trading setup out of it and breaking even, I'm okay with that too. I'll still continue to do the show. But we're about 5K in the hole, or excuse me, 15K in the hole on this show. We've made about $1,000 total. And because of that $1,000 that we've made, I continue to invest into the show because I see the potential for growth, and I see the potential that people need help. And that's why I'm here. I want to help you guys. I want you to make good decisions. I want you to make amazing trades, because they want you to live in the pod and eat the bugs. They want you to own nothing and be happy. And I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to be wealthy and own everything. And the only way we're going to fight that sentiment of UBI and own nothing and be happy is if we are able to enrich ourselves to a point where they cannot force us to do that. So the more people we gather together and the more we build this community and we share it. Mind you, this show is shared by word of mouth, guys. So when you are telling your friends, you're telling your family, you're telling your TikTok friends to come over to Twitch and to watch the show, we are building that community, and those are going to be the people that are going to be able to resist, and we'll maybe try to fix this world. All right, so the SEC holds a closed-door meeting today that could result in a crucial update. Investors are wary the SEC will not end its years-long suit against XRP, its owner Ripple. Economic turmoil is also pursuing the token. All right, so the SEC case is not over, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even close to being over. And even if it is over and they remove the injunction, they still are paying a $50,000 or $50 million fine, which means what they did was illegal and that the law still stands and the institutions will not be able to buy XRP, period. So until the laws are changed, XRP broke the law and investors cannot buy. And that's the speculation that everybody is buying up on, that investors are going to come in and buy it up with ETFs. But I'll tell you something, with ETFs comes short positions. If the market is already up, they're going to short the market. Okay? Just because the ETF doesn't mean that they're going to only buy. They could short. So we need to keep that in mind as well. But no ETFs have been approved. There was fake news that came out the other day that said that there was a spot ETF that was approved. There was a Ripple ETF, but not an XRP ETF. It was an XRP ETF that was approved. And they pushed it out as news that XRP's ETF was approved. That's also why we got a bit of that pump. It's all been fake news that's been keeping us propped up. We should be at the price of $1. XRP is overvalued right now. And the only reason it's up is because of fake news. So until we get some real substantial news, don't expect to see any God candles anytime soon. The crypto token XRP is trading lower on Tuesday, losing 4.9% as of 1 p.m. Eastern Time, despite jumping as much as 5.4% earlier in trading since this time yesterday. The drop comes as a broader market takes a dive. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ dropped 4.7% and 5.4% respectively. The Securities and Exchange Commission is holding a meeting today that many investors anticipate will lead to a major update in the regulators' ongoing litigation against XRP parenting company Ripple. That meeting is not open to the public. The SEC could have an update. Investors rejoiced late last month when Ripple announced that the SEC would finally end its ongoing litigation against the company. However, the agency never made its own announcement confirming this, and it soon became clear that Ripple had jumped the gun. The commission is still considering dropping the case, however, and many investors hope today will bring more clarity. The regulators meeting at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today will discuss adjudicatory examination, litigation, and regulatory matters. The details are light, and so speculation is high. XRP is dropping as investors anticipate the meeting could result in the SEC continuing its litigation. The token is also feeling pressure from the ongoing trade war with China, even after President Donald Trump temporarily lowered tariffs to 10% for most trading partners and indicated that he is seeking individual deals with each. The White House levies and Chinese goods are now at 125%. It's now actually, I believe, 149%. So tariffs are going up, and they're moon cheese feeding people that tariffs are on pause. Okay. And the people that are listening to the fake news are going to get cooked. They're going to be frogs in a pot, boiled frogs. Okay. We are going to have frog stew because they're not going to just let it drop all the way to the ground, guys. They're going to keep feeding the frogs moon cheese and keep them in the pot and slowly warm it up. They're going to say, hey, this is nice. It's a jacuzzi. We're about to go to the moon, baby. And then frog legs. Let's see here. The economic uncertainty is making investors wary of high-risk assets like XRP. Even if things were not so rocky, I would stay away from the token. Yes, frog stew with moon cheese. Literally, people are finally starting to say stay away from XRP. The economy, the market, the tariffs, everything that's going on, nothing is indicating that you should be buying high-risk investments. You should be holding stable coins and collecting APY until the market crashes and you can buy in down here instead of, why would you want to buy up here? What goes up must come down. Okay? Quit FOMOing. We are not going to $10,000. We're not going to $10. Maybe if a perfect storm happened, but that perfect storm is just not feasible, at least not right now. But let me tell you something right now. This year, we're probably going to continue on downward, maybe even to like $1 or sub $1. We'll move up to about 280, maybe $3, and then come back down. And then that'll be the end of the bull run. Okay? I do believe there will be another nice little push, but there won't be any money to be made from 197 to 180, really, or 280. You know, you want to catch it from $1 to 280. That's a pump. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the upside down head and shoulders on the 1 hour. I want to clarify something. I thought you said it could go down around 188 before it goes back up. If you think the opposite side of the head and shoulders is around 197, where XRP is now, that pretty much what I'm trying to say is if this is an inverted head and shoulders, if we dropped all the way down to 175 or even 160, we could still be forming the head of the head and shoulders. I doubt that, but we could go as low as like 180. I would say like 185, and we could still be in the shoulders, because what would happen is we could come all the way down to 180 and then it would push back up hard and it would just be a wick to 180. It wouldn't actually be a candle. If the candle closes at 180 or below, I would say that the head and shoulders as broken structure. So we just gotta kind of wait and see. The head and shoulders has not formed. However, I called this head and shoulders before. If you were watching earlier on, we had this head and shoulders. Okay. Generally, you get a mirror reaction. Okay. So this wouldn't be an uncommon thing to see. it wouldn't be uncommon to see a head and shoulders followed by an inverted head and shoulders. That's normal market structure. And guys, if you haven't donated yet, you can see in the chat, there's a little link right there, and you can click that link and you can donate to the show. That's where it says Nightbot donations are appreciated. Click that little link right there and you can send donations to the show. What time frame am I looking at? This is the 1 day, but I mean, it follows all the way into, it's showing on every time frame. I can see it on the 1 hour. You know, it's right there on the 1 hour too. But donations are much appreciated, guys. And if you don't want to use PayPal, you can use the Cash App or Venmo. Oz, did you get mine the other day on Venmo? It shows on my end. Just yes, I did get it, and I sent you a little heart and thank you. I don't know if you got the heart and thank you yet. Thank you all for your donations. Your donation went directly to the IT guy. Just so you know, he came in yesterday, and I gave those donations to the IT guy. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was nice to have him come in because he was coming in anyway, and I didn't have to pay out of pocket. Sorry, guys. I got signed out. So let me log in. I got signed out of Twitch. Oh my gosh. This is annoying. All right. Sorry about that. We're back. We're back. Sorry about that. So for those of you that are on TikTok, don't forget we are live on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. Come join us over there if you want to engage in the chat. I think I'm going to do a 92-hour trading and charts course. High school buddy did it. Yeah. Also on my TikTok shop, I have like some books. There's a book on there for day trading. Reading candle charts and stuff. There's also like a quick reference, like a keyboard mat with charts on it. Those can be helpful. I don't really use them because they're I just have them memorized in my brain. But it can be good for a quick reference because you have the keyboard mat. Was that you that bought it for me, or did you get it elsewhere? Because the keyboard mat can be useful. I want one. Do I need it? No, but I do want one. Yeah, I'm not gonna get one though unless it's free. Rambo, come on over to Twitch, man. We need you on Twitch, bro. You got it off Amazon? Yeah, I have them on discount. I think mine are like $6. And guys, if you want to help the show and you don't want to click the donation link, that's my Cash App and Venmo right there. So that's Aussie 122 33 504 on Cash App and at Aussie 122 33 504 on Venmo. Your phone won't pick what up? Rambo, come to Twitch, man. All right, let's see here. Fartcoin's doing the best, guys. Look at all them farts. Them farts are just getting bloated. Loaded with farts, baby. Man, imagine becoming generationally wealthy from Fartcoin. Like, oh, how did your family get so rich? Oh, I bought Fartcoin. The tap direction says to hold the card to the back of your phone for 1 minute while it's reading. I tried it like 10 times. You have to have the NFC enabled on your phone. It's in your phone settings. Once there's widespread adoption, couldn't governments give XRP an arbitrary fixed rate and leave us out of it? Yeah. That's very possible. Wouldn't the NFC be on if I use my phone? Look, you got to message me, buddy. That's what the deluxe subscription's for. We got a show to do, not set up your wallet. If that's not working, I'll talk to you after the show about it. All right, no worries. We'll figure it out. But you may have to change some settings. So we'll go over it later. Mind you, I've been really busy. I've had the IT guy. He's coming back in today. So we'll address it, and work our way towards it. Okay. And we'll get it sorted out. I do apologize for the delay, but it's been pretty busy the last couple days because I do have the crews coming in, building all this week and all weekend. I'm hoping to have the studio done by the end of the week. You should see how annoying my wife gets. Oh my God. Oh man. You only knew. All right. Let's see here. Let's get some news going again. But first, Bitcoin. 79. We're below 80,000. Below 80,000, just like we're below that $2 range, guys. The question is, Bitcoin looks like just like how we look like a head and shoulders, Bitcoin looks like a double bottom. But that doesn't mean that we couldn't drop down here and consolidate at, 50 to 60K and then form a head and shoulders and then drop all the way down to 10K. And that would line up right with regulations and investigations, baby. With regulation comes investigation, ladies and gentlemen. And if you think Bitcoin is overhyped right now, just wait till you find out that every $100 in Bitcoin is only backed by 1 penny. And Bitcoin is just a meme coin, guys. It literally does nothing. Yeah, well, I'll help you with the phone placement and stuff. Android's in the middle, iPhone's like up at the top by the camera. So we'll work on getting your card set up. I'm sorry, I've just been really busy, and I actually had to get some sleep last night. I took like 2 Ambien and passed out, and actually got like 4 hours of sleep. I'll help you though. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you guys. I want you guys to succeed in all of this, and I want you guys to feel like you have, a backbone or a shoulder to lean on through this, because this is not only dangerous and exciting, but it's also intimidating. So it's good to have somebody sitting in your court while you're in the ring and you're boxing, that you know that when you sit down, somebody's going to give you some water. They're going to put some, Vaseline on your wounds or whatever, and they're going to give you a pep talk and tell you, you got this, everybody needs that. And so that's what we're here for. There's a freaking fly in the studio, and I swear to God, I'm going to get one of those electric fly swatters. There's one fly, but it's like a little gnat. It's like so itty bitty. And it's just like, hey, what's this microphone do? Water. Get the bug assault. Oh, you talking about the shotgun that shoots the salt? I have one of those. I live out in the middle of nowhere and I have a farm. So we got fly issues for sure. So yeah, best believe I got a bug assault. I don't want to say what I got there, but I got something else that shoots rock salt. We have this little light. It's very small. Looks like a small heater almost, and it's different, and it tracks the flies and zaps them. Oh, I've seen those on Amazon. I'm going to get one of those. I think they have them on TikTok Shop too. I think I'm going to get one. I know what you're talking about. Yes, I need that. Where's the half do you think is going to repeat the history? We already had the Bitcoin halving. It's like Batman. Just so you guys know, I'm Batman. In case you didn't know, I am Batman. There were great, so satisfying to hear them zap. Oh my God. I'm actually going to order one like right after the show. It's necessary. It needs to happen. I'm going to get like 10 of them, and we'll call it ambient lighting. Ambiance. All right. Some snooze. Before the snooze, let's look at the chart. All right. I try to look at the chart in between the news, so that way we can see the progression of my chartings and show you that I'm on point. And look at, we're literally calling it. We peaked here. Now, it is possible that we could bounce here and then come to the top, and then what we would get is a double top and then come back down. Ah, freaking fly. I just hit the microphone. Sorry, guys. That was the freaking fly. HD Melissa, is that a frog and cheese pot? What is that? You were going to say it does add ambience. Yeah, I know. I've actually seen them. I want one. I think I'm going to get them for all over the house. Get out of here. This is the most annoying fly I've ever had in my entire life. It literally keeps trying to it's trying to fly in my mouth while I'm talking or go up my nose. It's what the heck. Now I see the upside down head and shoulders clearly. I was thinking it was slightly too far out. Yeah. Oh, and I ate the fly. Oh, it went right up my throat. Oh, I need a drink. I ate the fly. Oh, well, I don't have to worry about him no more. He's gone. And we are back. Oh my gosh, you guys are Shaz. You guys are freaking hilarious, man. I'm glad that I can entertain you at my expense. I'm glad that you all see me as a clown to entertain you. Welcome to the Dog and Pony Show. All right, just kidding. I am here to entertain you. That's why I'm putting all this production quality into the show, because it is entertainment. It should also be education, but it should also be entertainment. You're the frog now. If you can teach and entertain, you'll triple your profits. Exactly. But as of right now, we are supported by viewers like you. So there's the Cash App and the Venmo. And you guys will see the PayPal link. It pops up about every 30 minutes or so. If you do want to give, great. Those of you that already gave, thank you so much for your support. It has been helping. Would I recommend to sell now and get a little bit of profit? I would recommend that we are in the middle of consolidation, and you generally don't buy or sell in consolidation zones. However, I would watch to see if we start creeping up right here again. I would say sell at 199, 190, yeah, like 199. And then we'll probably double top and it'll drop down. And then you could jump back in, at like 188 or 185 if you want to. But that's if you think we're going to go bullish. There's a possibility at like 3 a.m. tonight, it starts selling off. And then we go into the weekend. Or it could even push up and just start testing $2, right? And just kind of consolidate at $2. And then we go into the weekend on Sunday and it just plummeted us back down. So I would say, Sundays are usually buy days. Thursdays are usually, sometimes Fridays are sell days. So like if you're, another fly? Seriously? It didn't really have a waterfall moment because we had this giant candle. We had a little bitty waterfall, but that only took us halfway down the massive bull pump. So we probably need to recover at least. It's got to drop to at least 190 before it's going to pop up out of this. Has to go at least to 190, probably more like 188. It has to hit a strong resistance zone, which would be 190 and like 188, and even as low as 185 before it could pop out of that. Because people are seeing this pattern. They're like, okay, it's working its way down. I'll buy down at this zone. It'll come down and then it'll bull push it up out. Bitcoin just fell from 83 to 78 just now. Oh shit. Then I would expect it to fall on XRP. Whatever happens to Bitcoin happens to XRP shortly thereafter. And that's why I've been watching Bitcoin lately. Let's take a look at it. Yep. But look at Bitcoin's forming the same little head and shoulders movement. Do you see it? The inverted head and shoulders right there? Bitcoin's doing the exact same thing. So it could, if it consolidates a little bit and builds a shoulder, it could pump back up to 88. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Asia is going to dump the market. They're going to allow that look, but this candle would have to close at, I would say, 80,000, 81 on Bitcoin for it to continue. And this is why I've been watching this, because I've been trying to see if Bitcoin's going to give us an indication if we're going to break the head and shoulders and come down, or if we're going to form the head and shoulders and move up. So I would watch both of them. They will kind of. Another one to watch is Litecoin. Litecoin tends to emulate XRP a little early. I thought the plan was not eating bugs anymore. I am literally in a pod eating bugs right now. That is the reality of the situation. Let me sit in the pod and eat the bugs so that you don't have to. But I'm literally in the pod right now. My ass is sore and I'm eating bugs. That's the world I live in. And the only thing that isn't the case is that I don't own nothing and I'm happy doing it. I own all kinds of shit and I'm very happy with owning all of it. All right, back to the snooze. I know we got some snooze. 81.6% of XRP supply is in profit, but traders in Korea are turning bearish. Here is why. A majority of XRP supply is its profit, but it's raising sell pressure. Oh, we have
81.6% of XRP supply is in profit, but traders in Korea are turning bearish. Here is why. XRP has struggled to find sustained bullish momentum since reaching its cycle peak at $3.40 on January 16, 2025. XRP dropped as much as 46% over the past 3 months, but despite its recent drawdown, Glassnode data indicates that 81.6% of XRP's current circulating supply remains in profit. While the profit supply percentage is down from its year-to-date high of 92%, the dataset highlighted the retention value for holders despite the recent corrections. Percentage supply and profit for XRP, BTC, SOL-ETH, TRX. Source, X.com. Currently, only Tron, TRX, has a higher profitable supply with 84.6%, while Bitcoin, BTC, Ether, ETH, and Solana, SOL, exhibited 76.8%. 44.9% and 31.6%, respectively. Analyst says Korean XRP traders are bearish. Data shows traders in Korea played a significant role in buying the first XRP dip below $2 on February 3. Investors on Upbit and Bybit Exchange filled their bids below $2, pushing the altcoin's value back to $2.89 on February 13. However, the sentiment has flipped over the past few days. Anonymous market analyst Dom pointed out that Korean traders executed 1.4 million trades on the XRP/KRW pair, with 62% being sell orders, resulting in a net sale of $120 million in XRP between April 6 to 7. XRP selling on Korean markets. Source, X.com. The data follows a trend of heavy selling from long-term whales and new investors as retail confidence in XRP continues to slip. Last week, Cointelegraph reported over $1 billion in positions being offloaded at an average price of $2.10. Related, XRP price gains 13% after Trump 90-day tariff pause and XRP ETF launch. XRP's higher time frame, HTF, chart lost its $2 support, dropping to a new yearly low of $1.61 on April 7, but the altcoin managed to reclaim this critical level on April 9. Even if XRP holds the $2 level, the price reflects a bearish market structure on multiple timeframes. XRP one-day chart. Source, Cointelegraph/trading view. As illustrated in the chart, XRP will potentially close a daily candle below its 200-day moving average, orange line, leading to a prolonged correction period over the next few weeks. The key demand zone remains between $1.63 and $1.27, blue box, where a period of accumulation might unfold for the altcoin. Related, Ripple acquires crypto-friendly prime broker Hidden Road for $1.25 billion. This article does not contain investment advice or recommendations. Every investment and trading move involves risk, and readers should conduct their own research when making a decision. 81.
All right, guys. So, as you can see, the accumulation zone that he's saying here, it lines up with mine. 163 to 127 is the accumulation box. Okay? And that is right here is that line. This is the buy zone, baby. And that's what we're waiting for. I think we're going to drop either to 163 again and double bottom and move up, or we'll move past it and we'll hit those 120-ish zones. Okay. Mind you, they are all saying this stuff now. I've been saying it for months. 163 has been my price point for about 2 months now. And hopefully you guys sniped that trade. But now I believe, let's go into the 1 day. I believe the next sniper point is going to be right here. One 140 to 130, and the lowest of the low would be 127. I think 140 is a good zone. 130 to 140 is going to be a beautiful little entry spot, but also you have to take into consideration that 155. If you want to engage in the chat, jump on over to Twitch Juan. That's Oz the Crypto Goat on Twitch, and that's where we're engaging in the chat. So come on over to Twitch, guys, and enjoy a more professional style show. But yeah, I think 155 and 150 are going to be psychological zones. So I'm thinking more like 148 to 1. I think 155, baby. I think 155, and just to be safe, because we always want to add a couple cents to make sure our price points hit, because I did say about 160 would be where we would drop, and that's exactly, but I said we'll add a couple cents just to be sure. So 163 is that price point. But I think the next one to hit is probably going to be about 155. So I would put it at like 157, 158, just to make sure it hits. Don't be greedy with a couple of cents, guys. And even if it continues to fall below that and it hits, 130, it should bounce back up shortly thereafter and bring us back up to at least 180, 190 from those positions. Okay. So keep that in mind. Everything indicates bearish movement. There is a possibility of a head and shoulders that hasn't even formed yet. Okay, this head and shoulders hasn't even formed yet. Bitcoin's inverted head and shoulders hasn't formed yet. Yes, Twitch is a free app. It's free. Come on over and check us out on Twitch. It's more podcast style. So when you're on Twitch, you're going to get professional audio and video. The screen's going to be cast directly to your device. And you're going to see the show the way it was intended to be and not just a camera pointed at a monitor. NK, thank you for the rose. I appreciate you. NK2321, we are live on Twitch. We will be leaving the TikTok platform. I'm tired of them stealing from me. So we're now on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lower cases, no spaces. Come follow us on Twitch and see a more professional style show where we have the image cast directly to the screen and you can engage in the chat there. And we have professional audio. So come on down, check it out. You're going to be much more pleased with this show. I guarantee it. So guys, yeah, 163 to 127. I would say the very bottom would be 130. It's a psychological zone. You got to remember those numbers are psychological. 130, so people will put 130, but they'll add a cent or two. They'll put it 129. I'm sorry I missed something. We're expecting the 163 tonight, Sunday. We don't know when, okay? More than likely, you would see those over the coming weeks, you know? And like I said, we could easily push up to, 230 and still fall back down into those zones. But I think we probably won't get that push. It'll be a bull trap. And because we haven't even formed anything bullish yet. Okay. Nothing bullish has actually formed. So more than likely, because of news, the bullish stuff won't happen. NK, thank you for the heart me. Definitely come on over to Twitch. Check us out on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces, because we are leaving TikTok. We will not be on the TikTok platform for much longer, guys. So come on over to Twitch and enjoy the show the way it was intended to be. So yeah, guys, keep in mind, look at the arrow. I've had this ghost up, right? Every time I close XRP and I open it back up, the ghost comes back up, and the end of the arrow stops right here at this 125, 127 mark right here. That's where I think we could potentially go to, as low as that. However, I like to be a little conservative, so like we'll put others, but if it falls past 130, it'll definitely stop at 127. Yeah, in a couple weeks, let's look at it. It would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like a week or two, expect it to happen over a week or two. Maybe on Sunday. It could happen Sunday. And if it continues into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah. Heck yeah. The only thing that's going to keep it from doing that. Yeah, no worries, NK. Just follow on TikTok for now. We'll be on TikTok for a couple of days, and then we will be ending on TikTok in the next couple of days, and we'll be on Twitch full time. So when you get a chance, just add us on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. But yeah, guys, I'm thinking in a week to 2 weeks. But if we consolidate over this week and don't drop, expect that push upward. Okay. But I have a strong sentiment that Sunday is going to be another big, nasty sell-off because we had this moon cheese candle right here, and Asia's going to, you have to understand, with the trade war, a lot of these markets are globally traded, and other countries will pull out of the market just to bleed our country out. Because the worse our market is doing, the more leverage they have with their negotiation tactics. But if our markets are going up despite all these tariffs being in place, that gives them more leverage. That's why they're pumping out the fake news. That's why they're feeding you the moon cheese, because they need you to keep markets up for their for their negotiation tactics. They're literally playing with your money, your retirements, your kids' college funds for negotiation tactics. So keep that in mind. But that being kept in mind, they'll stop at nothing to boost this. Okay? They will stop at nothing to keep this price up as long as they can. But we are in a bearish formation, and no matter how much they give it to pump it up, it'll never pump much higher than its highs have already been, and it'll always drop down lower each time. And it will slowly, gradually work its way down into end of July, middle of July, and then it'll probably start to pump back up in the fourth quarter. And we'll get another run to probably about $2, or depending on how low we go, if they keep it up high enough, I would say $2.80 to $3. So for tonight, it's going up. No, it's consolidating right now. Okay, it's not doing anything except for moving sideways. You don't buy or sell in consolidation. You're in for a trade. If you're in, wait. Wait for it to break down or to break up, or whether it's going to keep moving sideways. Yeah, I'm going to wait to buy. I'll probably buy this zone 125, 127, 130. I think 130, maybe 155. Somewhere in this zone I'll buy again. I'll wait for it to jump up, and then I'll get out, and then the next trade I'll make, I'll buy 50 cents, 60 cents, 75 cents. There's a lot of people that are just diamond handing the shit out of this thing. So I have a feeling that 75 cents it could end up being the bottom. But usually after the bull cycle, we get despair where it drops below. So it could drop as low as 10 cents, guys. XRP's price could literally possibly drop somewhere between 10 and 20 cents. Keep that in mind. Will it be for a long time? No, it'll wick. It will wick into those zones, and it'll bump back up to like 30, 40 cents. But those prices are going to be back. Okay, guys? Just wait. Okay. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. We'll probably see it in like December, January next year when we'll see those prices again. Let me see. Yeah, I'd say June and July of next year is when we'll see those prices again. Because look at this is our previous bull cycle. I think we're somewhere right around here. Okay. And we're going to dip down. Look at here's where our 163 dip was, and we move back up. Now we're going to dip down to the 127 and then come back up, and then we'll dip back down to 127 again. Bottom, double bottom. That's around mid-July. Move back up and then continue on downward until over the next year. We're going to emulate something very similar to this. Okay? Let me get rid of the spooky ghost so you guys can see it better. Do you guys see it? How this emulates this right here? I think we're right about here. This is April 21st. Okay. April 25th. What's today's date? April 10th. So April 10th was... Do you have faith that XRP will actually go halfway to the moon at all in the next 5 years? I think $3 to $5 is the most it'll ever be valued at. Maybe in the next decade it could be worth $10, but then it'll come back down to $5. Yeah, if you think it's doing more than that, you've been spoon-fed moon cheese. Could it possibly hit $25 at some point? Yeah, maybe in a couple decades. But I think by then there'll be new technology that comes along and takes its place. You got to remember this stuff is so new. New competitors are going to come out and all kinds of different things. Yeah, if you think you're going to become a millionaire overnight off of a couple $100 in XRP, you've been fed some moon cheese. You know, that's the problem. People are, throwing in $100 and then they're whining and complaining because they're not millionaires yet. It just doesn't work that way. If you want a good long-term investment, I would say, and not crypto, where you just know that it's going to, because crypto right now, we have no idea. it's all speculation. But if you want something that's not speculation, hard evidence, good long-term investment, I would invest into Lockheed Martin. When Trump got you know how we got the Trump pump here, guys? Trump got elected, right? October all the way to January when he got inaugurated, right? That was the Trump pump. Well, when Trump got into office, everything in the market pumped like this, except for Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin sold off and collapsed, okay? Because everybody thought that Trump was going to end all the wars. Okay, Lockheed Martin has defense contracts, okay? And one of their contracts is the Iron Dome for Israel. They build all the missiles and defense system stuff for the Iron Dome. Well, when it collapsed, I bought it up, okay? And it's still down low. All right, it has not boomed yet. Lockheed Martin has the contract to build the Golden Dome in the United States, which is like $500 billion contract just to start to build an Iron Dome defense system across the entire United States. I would say probably in the end it'll be over $1 trillion pumped into Lockheed Martin from the government. So keep that in mind. None of that has happened yet. So if you're looking for a good long-term investment, guys, you can't go wrong with defense contracts. It's like printing money. Our country will always be at war. We will always be at war. It's always a sure bet. The fact that people sold it off because they thought Trump was going to create world peace was my opportunity of like, okay, I'm not being fed moon cheese. I know that our country is a war machine. I'm going to buy it. And I'll tell you what, whenever there's tariff wars and market uncertainty and depressions and yes, LMT, not financial advice. Whenever there's depressions and clashes between countries economically, it's always followed by war. Always. Since the beginning of time and history. So every single indication in the world right now is pointing to World War III. And if you haven't understood that yet, you know, that is where we're headed. And I'll tell you what, once that starts to happen, war bonds, that's going to be the place to buy. War bonds, hold those long term. Do you know what I could use to trade stocks? Yeah, you could use Robinhood, you could use Public, you could use Fidelity. They're all free. I like Fidelity because you actually get like a credit card that comes with it. You can spend your money and use it kind of just like how crypto does. Yeah, the S&P 500 is a good S&P 500 is volatile right now in the market. Lockheed Martin hasn't done much because it already tanked. And now it's probably going to pump because of the trade war instead of the opposite. You catch my drift? You have to be ahead of the curve. When we go into war, NASDAQ, S&P 500, everything's going to tank because of war, right? And we're going into the beginning of the war, which is the trade war. So unlike crypto, well, Robinhood would own your whatever it is you have. So that's a little bit different with crypto. They basically hold your crypto, but you're owning stocks. It's the same thing as any brokerage. But Fidelity, it's kept in a trust account. So when you use Fidelity, all your funds are in a trust. So even if they go belly up, your funds are locked away in a trust. They can't take it. Not a recommendation or financial advice, but I like Fidelity. MIT, what's your name? My name's Oz the Crypto Goat. Rock and D, anybody that's on TikTok, don't forget we're live on Twitch. We will be leaving TikTok. We won't be streaming on TikTok for much longer. If you did purchase a subscription, I will be honoring those subscriptions through the month. But we are switching platforms. So we will be on Twitch from now on, guys. So come follow on Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat, all lowercases, no spaces. So you're owning your stocks with Fidelity? Yeah, basically. It's just locked in a trust. It's like a 401k kind of deal set up. You can even transfer your 401ks to Fidelity and use them to trade with. Is it possible for bullish still? Better not. I mean, yeah, it's definitely possible for bullish still. But as of right now, we're consolidating and we need to see it either break upward or downward before we can make that decision. So we need to see it start to break above $2 and $2.20. And if that's the case, that could send us up to like $2.47 and then come back down. Or we break to 180, and then break below that. And then we could hit, 155, 140. You can't catch the very tip. No problem, you. Come on over to Twitch. That's Oz the Crypto Goat. All lowercases, no spaces. Can you show what it needs to do to be bullish? Yeah, I can tell you what it needs to do. Okay. It's forming an inverted head and shoulders here, okay? Let me get rid of these. So in order for it to be bullish, it has to form a shoulder here. Okay? So basically on Sunday, it can't sell us off down to 180, 160. It has to continue it has to look like this right here. If the signs are bullish right now, why don't you short it first? Well, the signs aren't bullish or bearish yet. The signs are more bearish than they are bullish. But I'm taking into I'm predicting the future. I'm taking into consideration that we had a head and shoulders is usually followed by an inverted head and shoulders. Okay. I'm taking into consideration they've been using nothing but fake news to prop up the prices. So I'm factoring in moon cheese will probably push us up. I'm also factoring in that we're in a trade war. Tariffs are still in effect, and people are soon going to find that out and start jumping out of the market. All they did was slow it down instead of making it free fall. And once China and Asian markets wake up, they're all asleep right now. They're going to wake up. They'll start selling off because of this green candle, and it'll probably dump us down. So I think overall we're more bearish than bullish. However, I'm taking into consideration moon cheese. Moon cheese could make us consolidate all the way into Wednesday of next week, and then we would have a bull push. Okay? But we need to see what happens this week to decide. So you have to be patient, guys. Have to be patient. So if we continue to consolidate through the week, then we're going to go bullish. But if we drop down over the next couple days, we're going to go bearish. No, you got the opposite. If it goes up, if it moves sideways or up, we're going to flip bullish. If it moves down, we're going to go bearish. Do you not see the formation? Look at it. This is a Head and Shoulders, right? This is an inverted Head and Shoulders. Okay. If this forms an inverted Head and Shoulders, we'll know because it'll continue to drop all the way down to about 188, 185, 180, and then start moving back up and consolidate sideways here and moving sideways, forming the shoulder. Okay. And then it would push us up. But we could just get a bull trap and just waterfall off again, which I think it will be the case. I think we're going to get another bull trap because people are going to wake up and realize that tariffs are still in effect and retaliatory tariffs are going to go into place. But the news has been pushing this 90-day pause rhetoric like crazy, which is not true. It is fake news. There is no pause. There is a restructuring. All tariffs are still in place. Yeah, China's cooked. So more than likely, what are they going to do to retaliate? They're going to dump on Sunday or start dumping over the next couple days and just crash the markets. Do you understand? If Asian markets are pissed, they're going to dump on us. They're going to manipulate the market. Where do you think market manipulation comes from? That a lot of that comes from Asian markets. So if you think that they're happy with us and they want the prices to go up and us to make money, then think it's going to go up. Or do you think they're going to let a bull trap play out and dump on us? You know, what would you lean towards? I'm leaning towards that they're going to dump on us. It makes perfect sense. All right, let's see here. More news. New York Attorney General urges Congress to pass crypto regulations. The New York Attorney General has urged lawmakers in the United States to pass federal regulation for cryptocurrencies. In her letter on Thursday, April 10th, Attorney General warned that the lack of robust federal regulation framework for crypto raises the risk of fraud, crypto-related crimes, and financial instability. And don't forget, guys, you can click that little... Oh, somebody was spamming. I'm going to take that away. You guys can... I'm going to get that fixed. The IT guy comes in at 5 when the show ends, and I'll get it so you guys can post those little things again. So I do apologize that you guys can't click emojis right now. We'll fix that tonight. A strong legal framework would help mitigate against these potential risks as we allow for better protections for investors, James said. He addresses the letter to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Senate Majority Leaders Charles Schumer, U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. She averred that New York has countless cryptocurrency and digital asset investors, and that the lawmakers have to do more to protect the investors and their money. Thousands of investors in New York and across the country have lost millions of dollars to cryptocurrency scams and fraud that could have been prevented with stronger federal regulations. I'm urging Congress to pass legislation that would strengthen federal regulations on the cryptocurrency industry and protect investors, strengthen financial markets, and stop fraud, she said. Okay. Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. Poly boys. That's an IT issue that needs to get fixed. So don't worry about it. You'll be allowed to do that tomorrow, most likely. So basically, off this, okay. What do you need to take away from this? Okay. What do you need to take away from this? Is just because they are having the House Oversight Committee talking about making regulation, okay? Just because they're making a framework for regulation and they're doing all that doesn't mean that they are going to write the regulations. It has to be passed by by Congress, okay? Congress has to pass that regulation. So the House Oversight Committee, the Crypto Summit, all that stuff going on, those are just meetings to come up with ideas. Okay, they have to write bills and have them passed through Congress. Okay? You guys understand that until that happens, there will not be regulation. Everyone is buying up based off of the idea that we're going to get regulations. They're going to allow XRP to be bought by institutions and all this stuff. None of that will happen until Congress passes a law. Do you understand, guys? XRP cannot and will not be bought by institutions anytime soon. I wouldn't even say this year. That's just the hard, God's honest truth. Just the fact of the matter, guys. Are you paying attention? And guys, thank you all for watching the show. If you want to help support the show, guys, you can send to the donate option, or you can send to my Cash App or Venmo. So I'm going to, log in? What the hell? So there's my Cash App and Venmo right there. You guys can send your donations there, or you can send it to the donation bot. Any donations that you send go towards paying the staff, guys. So please help support the show. Don't let it die, guys, because we are investing quite a bit of money into the show. We're about a little over 15K invested. We've made about $1,000. So we're in the negative at about 14K and counting. So your guys' donations help so much. And for all of you that have donated, I appreciate you very much. And we will continue to grow. And I believe that we are on to something with this show. Thank you, RMark88. So yeah, any donations you give, keep this show afloat, because we're not fully monetized on Twitch yet. We're no longer monetized on TikTok. So the only revenue that we're receiving is from your donations. So your donations are muchly appreciated. And so, please continue to help the show grow. And don't let the show die, guys. If we continue doing this, we're going to make more money than you ever would imagine. So the donations are what's going to keep you getting that information so that you can make those non-risky trades. All right, our last bit of news here. Trump doesn't rule out extending 90-day tariff pause. Live updates. What a freaking joke, guys. And as you can see, the Nightbot in the chat, there's also, if you don't want to use Cash App or Venmo, you can click that link right there and you can use any card. So if you don't have Cash App or Venmo, all you got to do is click that link there and you can send any donation you like. So click the link right there. The Nightbot donations are appreciated. Thank you guys very much for your support. And if you don't want to use that, you can always use Cash App or Venmo. Thank you guys very much. All right, back to the news. Trump doesn't rule out extending 90-day tariff pause. Live updates. Okay, so just so you know, there is no pause on tariffs. There is a reissuance or change of regulations. So I have to make this minimized, otherwise they'll flag me. So bear with me a second.
Will you put those higher tariffs in place, or will you extend?
Well, that's what
pause?
would happen. I mean, if we can't make the deal that we want to make, or we have to make, or that's good for both parties, it's got to be good for both parties.
You wouldn't.
And then we go back to where we were.
You go back to the numbers that you
Yeah,
announced last week.
I think so.
You wouldn't extend the pause.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens at that time.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said yesterday you were considering some exceptions for companies. Can you talk about what you're considering? And then also on the reciprocal tariffs, you said they'd be substantially lower. Is the same math formula going to be used, or is that tossed out?
I'm not considering now for any country or company, but it's possible that I would. But I'm not. We don't have that situation right now. People understand where we are, what we're going to do. But it could happen. It's called flexibility. You have to have certain flexibility.
President, what are you planning on using the money that you're gaining from revenue to do the tariffs on?
Paying down national debt, reducing taxes, creating good budgets, helping Christie with the border and all of the other things. I built hundreds of miles of wall, as people now understand, 571 miles of border wall in the first administration. But we're going to beef it up, and we're going to add more. And, the numbers are incredible, really. The numbers are what's taken place. We had great numbers, but these numbers are topping my last administration. And Christie and Tom Homan have done an amazing job, but it's an expensive process. This weekend, where they used to have hundreds of thousands of people standing there pouring through the border in Tijuana, Mexico, this weekend they had nobody. You had a man sweeping this massive piece of concrete, which is, the area where they said massive. And I've looked at that during the Biden administration. You couldn't see a piece of that concrete. There were so many people on it. You couldn't, if you had helicopter shots, you couldn't see concrete. Now, this weekend, you had nobody there but a man with a broom sweeping it and cleaning it up. Pretty amazing. It's really an amazing job. But it will be used for that. It'll be used for a lot of things. It'll be used by the Department of Justice for doing a great job. Pam is doing a fantastic job. So it's going to be used for a lot of different things.
On a 10% tariff, is that a basement? Is that the
It's a baseline.
Can countries negotiate that to bring that?
It depends on what they're adding. Some countries we have massive deficits with, or they have big surpluses with us, and others it's not that way. So it depends. That's why it's really they're all different. Every country is different. Some have certain advantages that others don't have, and certain things. We have some. China has a surplus of $1 trillion. I mean, the numbers are crazy, and others have basically no surpluses. We have some that are pretty even, but they hurt us in other ways, and we just want to get that taken care of. So everyone is a little bit different.
To follow your heart,
So
you need to think ahead.
that was Trump. And obviously, tariffs are still in place. But they're calling it a 90-day pause, and he's even feeding into the 90-day pause rhetoric. because he doesn't want to crash the economy. How does China have a bad economy? They are printing like crazy. They are printing money like crazy, pumping it into Tether stablecoin, which is not stable because they're overinflating their currency. And then they're taking that Tether coin and buying up Bitcoin, which is inflating Bitcoin. So their economy is doing very, very bad. All economies are doing bad. You think ours is doing bad? Everywhere around the world is bleeding out. Okay? Everywhere in the world. So until this tariff war is over, it's going to be continuing to do that. And yes, this is China's way of attacking us. Yes. And it's just getting started. It's just getting started. So if you think that this is going to end anytime soon, you've been fed moon cheese. Okay. This is going to continue for a while. There's over 80 some odd countries that have to negotiate deals now. That's not going to happen overnight. Okay. It's going to happen little by little, one at a time, over time, and the market will pump, and then another tariff will go in for another country, and then it'll dump, and it's going to be high volatility until then. And it literally could lead us into a hot war where countries say, nope, that's it. We're not going to take it. We'll fight you over it. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that there's no end in sight with this trade war at the moment. Trump is saying that there's countries, biting at their teeth, trying to make a deal. Well, there's also countries that are, all they're doing is putting up reciprocal tariffs. Okay. So keep in mind that even, Canada is threatening to go to war with us over it. Literal hot war. Obviously, I think that's just nonsense. They're probably just talking negotiation tactics, but keep in mind. Thanks for the answer. Just looking at the fact and cheat on trade, low wages, and the amount of products they put out, you would think they would be stronger. Yeah, there's a lot of corruption in their country, though. They don't have the checks and balances that our country has on their government, so they can do whatever they want. It's all spun for the press. Yeah, the press is just going to lie to you, and that's why this show is also a news show, guys, because we're here to combat fake news. This is more of a investigative journalism type show of journalists. So we're taking other journalists' information and their stories and news articles, and we're investigating them. So I believe it's a new type of investigative journalism. Sometimes I scare you. I don't know why hold on. Click to show. Sorry about the chat bot theme. I'm going to have that fixed today. So I know you guys are getting warnings for nonsense stuff. I will. Sorry, I was saying you're in all caps. Yeah. No worries. I do apologize. My B, how we doing, Oz? We're doing good. We're doing good. The chat bot will be adjusted. I want you guys to be able to write anything you want, as long as you're not spamming like real spam, where you're saying like, "Oh, come buy my FTX scam," So the IT guy comes in at 5, so we'll be working on that. So I do apologize for the chat bot we didn't get finished. I had to pay the IT guy an hour and a half of overtime last night because he stayed late. So I eventually had to cut him loose. I was like, yeah, I can't keep paying you. So he's coming in again today, and we'll continue working on this stuff. So are you using Twitch for messages? Yes, you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or you can still message me on TikTok as well. I will be honoring those through the month, and we'll kind of work that out and figure out how that's going to go over the next month or so. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So we're just going to kind of gauge that out and see how it goes. And we may start a Discord for the sub only stuff. So when you become a subscriber, you get access to the Discord, and that's where I'll be posting price points and things. We'll figure it out. We may just use TikTok and Twitch together. Yeah, and when you sub here, you know, you're not going to get commercials and stuff like that. I believe that now that I'm monetized, that there's going to be commercials, and I'll have no control over that. So also keep that in mind. But yeah, we're going to work all that out. It's going to be a slow transition from TikTok to Twitch. We're going to have to slowly pull people over, and we're going to have to grow the Twitch over time, you know, because we do have to filter people from one platform to another, and it will take time. So keep that in mind. It's not going to happen overnight. The best things in life take time. Are you going to start posting videos we can share and get more people in? Yeah, I'm going to be working on that. It's a transition, so I will be posting videos that you can share to get people to follow over on Twitch. There are some on there now on TikTok that you can share. It says you have a setting on no messages from strangers. Says you have to message me first. Okay. I will fix that. I will fix that today. I'll have the IT guy look into that. I need a pen and paper to write down all the stuff that I need to have him do. Bear with me just 1 minute. Yeah, we'll figure it out where you guys need to sub, because we may have to do TikTok subs as well. Just so that you guys can get those price point videos and message me directly, because it's not quite the same on Twitch. So let me get things figured out. Like I said, I have the IT guy coming in. So whispers on. And then what was the other thing? Oh, chat. All right. So we'll work on those things today. Like I said, this is all really new, and we're still building. The IT guy's still working. So I do appreciate your guys's patience with that, but also understand that with all that comes extra expense. Because I'm doing the news, I'm reading the charts, I'm answering questions, I'm helping people set up wallets, I'm answering messages, I'm making memes, I'm writing appeals on TikTok, I'm creating new accounts, and for because we're going to start recording all these and posting them to YouTube. So I do have a lot on my plate, so I do need a staff in order to continue doing this. So when you guys donate, that goes to help keep the staff here so that we can continue to grow more quickly. So if you'd like to help support the show, you can send those donations to my Cash App or my Venmo. I posted it right there. Or you can look up in the chat. You'll see the Nightbot. It says donations are appreciated by Nightbot. And you can click there and you can just you can send a donation from any card. So please help continue supporting the show. Your donations are much appreciated. Thank you, Neo. Appreciate you. So yeah, guys, any donations are much appreciated. We do need those right now to continue moving forward with building the studio and paying the IT guy and building the platforms, because we are no longer monetized. We are not receiving any money from TikTok. We are not receiving any money from Twitch. We're not receiving any money from YouTube. The only revenue that we're receiving is from viewers like you. So in order to continue doing this, we do need to produce some type of revenue to keep the staff on so that we can continue to grow. Keep it simple, simple, stupid. I know. Oh, and see, that's another reason why we're leaving TikTok, is TikTok makes me go live from my phone. And my phone just cannot handle going live for as long as we do. It always crashes. It gets too hot. The battery dies. It won't charge when it gets too hot. So that's another reason why, because TikTok won't allow me to use the TikTok studio. Because they want to keep banning me. And the reason they keep banning me is, one, because I'm not feeding into their moon cheese narrative, and two, because they get to keep more of my revenue when they do that. Like I sell the wallets. I literally posted the thing to sell the wallets, and all I talked about was the wallets, and they still gave me, I had 9 appeals I had to file for not selling wallets, and still and all I talked about was selling wallets, and they didn't even approve the appeals, and basically kept all the money from selling the wallets. So I was like, okay, fine, then I will sell nothing. You don't realize the rules on TikTok has only learning from you telling me. Yeah, it's crazy. TikTok is authoritarian, guys. That's why we're leaving. They're literally stealing my money. They're like, hey, sell these wallets. Or they're like, would you like to sell products? And I'm like, okay, what are products that my viewers actually need that I would be willing to sell and back? I'm like, okay, so I make a contract with Arculus, and so I'm selling the Arculus wallets, and to help support the show, and I'm selling the wallets, and they're saying, oh, you're not selling the wallets in your show, and I'm like, yes, I am. And then they're saying that the wallets aren't don't have anything to do with my type of show, and so they hit me with demerits or something, and because of those demerits, they take the revenue from the wallets that I did sell. So they're literally just stealing from me. They're making me sell the wallets and then taking the money. And literally, I went live for 5 hours yesterday, and you know how much I made on TikTok? A whopping negative $1.71. Negative $1.71. They're saying that I owe them money because I'm in trouble, and I've never broke one of their rules. They make it so that their guidelines, and it's impossible to talk to a real person or argue with any of it. So I am just done. I can't do it. I'm literally owing them money by doing the show on TikTok. So the only reason I'm even going live anymore is because I want to transfer the people over to this show. I sent a whisper with PITA verification codes, password, etc. Okay, I don't know what that is. PITA. Yeah, I'm done with TikTok. They're thieves. They dangle a little bit of cheese in front of you, get you to bite, and then they reel you in, and then they say, "Oh, you're in trouble." Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So I'm just not doing it. Not doing it anymore. Not feeding into that nonsense. It's not worth it. I'm literally paying to work my ass off for them, so I'm not going to do it anymore. 5 hours of live content for them to make a negative $1.71. I literally had to pay them. I was like, this is it. We're done. So here we are now, and we have a growing community here on Twitch. It's wonderful, but we are not fully monetized yet. So remember, guys, your donations can be sent to the Cash App or the Venmo, or if you want to use any credit card, you can just click scroll up on the chat, and there it'll say Nightbot donations are accepted, and click on that link, and you can send donations there with any card. So thank you all very much for your overwhelming support, and I will continue to bring you the news and the price points, and we'll continue to make money. Yeah, baby. We're making money over here. That's what we're doing. So really, by you guys making money and giving back to the show, consider it an investment. Not giving away money, not spending money, but investing into your future to make sure that you're going to continue to make better trades. Can you set up a reoccurring donation? I'm not sure. Click on the site for now. But in the meantime, just send your donations through Cash App, Venmo, or on the Nightbot. And I will talk to the IT guy today. Let me write that down. Reoccurring donations. All right, I'll write that down. Happy to set a monthly amount. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you very much, Poway. And your donations have been very, very generous. I do appreciate you very much. So I will see about that with the IT guy. He comes in at 5 o'clock. So would that cancel out the subscription from TikTok? Well, basically, as of right now, you guys having your TikTok subscription, that's allowing you to see those price point videos that I'm posting when I'm not live. Okay. And then if you want to message me directly, you're paying the deluxe subscription on TikTok to message me directly. However, we do have Twitch now. Once you guys subscribe onto Twitch, I'm still figuring that out because I just am allowed to do it. So let me figure that out. But as of right now, subscriptions will be on TikTok. They will be honored through the end of the month. And then you're more than likely will need to switch over to Twitch for your subscription. Well, if you cancel your subscriptions and on TikTok, then basically I'm going to have a negative balance from TikTok and I'll have to pay them money. So I'd rather you just let your subscriptions run out through the month because we are still using TikTok to bring people over. So let your subscriptions run out on TikTok, and then if you want to bring it over to Twitch, or if you want to leave it on TikTok for the month and then buy it on Twitch as well and just count it as a donation, that's great too. But if you guys cancel your subscriptions on TikTok, I'm going to have even more of a negative balance that I'm going to have to pay them back. So please don't do that because I'm already getting a bill from TikTok So let's just write out the month together, guys, and then we can just do away with TikTok altogether. Yeah, just wait and then switch over. But if you do want to switch over sooner, and just count it as a donation, we'll figure it out. But it's going to be a process of switching platforms. It already has been. So please bear with me. And like I said, any subscriptions on TikTok will be honored through the month. And if you paid like a 3-month subscription, like up front on TikTok, I'll honor those as well. Or we'll try to figure something out that there may be an ability where I can gift a subscription for a month or something. We'll figure it out. But let me get the IT guy in here. He's literally pulling up right now. So we're going to end the show. Thank you all for supporting the show. I'm going to give you one last opportunity. That is the Venmo and Cash App. You can send your donations there. Much appreciated. I'm probably going to have the IT guy working till midnight tonight, so it's going to be expensive. So anything you guys send and give is going directly to the IT guy. So thank you guys very much. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful evening. Don't forget the Cash App, Venmo, or you can click the chat bot and click the stream elements where it says chat. It says Nightbot donations are appreciated, and you can give there with any card as well. Thank you all very much. I think as of right now, the overall sentiment is that we are moving down. So, yeah, we're moving down, and we will see if it turns around. But mind you, if it does move down and we hit a bottom, more than likely $2 is going to be the top. $2 is now resistance, not support. If we start breaking above $2 and above $2.15, assume that we're going into a bullish push and could go all the way up to $2.47. All right, you guys have a great night. That is all.